Here's how you can buy some cheap government houses for under 4,000 bucks that you can go ahead and you can flip, you can rent them out for residual income. In this video, we're going to show you step by step how to follow along, find these properties and have a chance at getting them for yourself. So this is a all new way that you've probably seen for finding and buying and flipping off market real estate. We're going to have a great time. So these deals, we just did a video on how to get properties for as little as $2. Today, we're going to go and find some houses that are under $4,000 that you can flip. It's going to be a lot of fun. You can follow along at home. But without further ado, I want to introduce the two best looking men in the tax lien and deed game, Mr. Corey Chason in the watermelon shirt, the title master, Mr. Josh Blanchard, beaming in. We are ready to go. How's it going, guys?
Woo.
Howdy, howdy.
Good. Ready to party.
Excellent. So Josh is going to walk us through where these are. Josh is the title master. He's been to Texas 50, 60 times, has bought 50, 60 properties at the location you're about to see right now. So follow along. Let's do it here together. Some of these properties are literally coming up in the next couple days. Some of them are coming up next month, and you can have a crack at them. Now, the key thing to keep in mind is we're talking properties, houses under 4K, and there's going to be quite a few of them, right? So this isn't a get rich quick pill. But we've seen these properties go for as little as $2,000, $3,000. And like I mentioned, just the other day was $2 properties. So Josh, let's show them where to go, how to do it, how to find these, and have a party.
All right, great. Okay, here we go. Here's our website right here. You can see this is taxsales.lgbs.com. And this is where you can go ahead and you can find all of the data for the upcoming auctions in Harris County. And so right now I've got it sorted by minimum bid. There's about 444 properties that are available. Let's go ahead and let's pick the first house that we can see here. So we've got 9751 Casa Loma Drive. Minimum bid, $2,571.39. They're saying the value is around 117. We'll just grab it real quick. You could check it out on Zillow. Have a look here. 9751. So you have about 167K. So that's pretty cool. What we want to do is we want to go ahead and make sure that there's not any liens or any encumbrances, anything like that, because municipal liens, those are the ones that can get you. And so I'm going to really quickly show you how to do that. You're going to go ahead and grab the owner's name. So I just put it into PropStream right here. You can also do it for free on the county website, but we just like PropStream a lot. So we got the owner's name right there, Donna Munson. And something we always want to pay attention to is the subdivision name. That's just going to help you keep organized when you go ahead and do that quick title search. So it's Spring Branch Acres. So we just need two pieces of information, the name, Donna Munson, and then Spring Branch Acres. So this house is, valued north of 120K. Opening bid is 2,500. And so here are the real property records. And so you're able to do this online from the comfort of your home, which is pretty sweet. So you've got a whole bunch of information here. Don't let that get you bogged down. The only important thing that you need is the name. So it's the last name first and then the first name. So we're going to go ahead and put her name in grantor and grantee. We're going to do it in both. Just going to copy that. So we've got Donna Munson. Go ahead, put it in the real property records, search. So sometimes you do this and you've got a ton of documents. Other times there's only 3. So this is a pretty easy one. But you can see in the description there, you got Spring Branch Acres, section 1, lot 13. So that's our property, Spring Branch Acres, lot 13. So we know that we're looking at the right property. We've got a warranty deed, and a release. So no liens. And if you want some more information, you can go ahead, put it on the other side, grantor. We've got an affidavit, we got a deed of trust, an extension, and a deed of trust. So there could be mortgages on the property, but again, those are going to get wiped at the tax sale. They're also from 1999, so they're pretty old. They may be slow to act, but really, again, the most important thing is looking for liens. And so that's going to show up here under type. So there's no liens. So we're feeling good about this one. And that would conclude the title search. That would be pretty quick. So
Nice.
If you go to the auction here, opening bid 2.5, try to get this house. And again, there's no liens. So that's really quickly how you just do a little bit of due diligence.
Yeah, super simple, super clean. The key thing that we want to watch out for is the municipal liens on these properties. So as far as municipal liens, like we mentioned, these are things like the, we're talking about stuff that the county doesn't necessarily love to wipe out, which is when we talk about that, I'm just finding the view here. So some examples of liens that the county doesn't like to wipe out are the liens of their own, right? So sometimes we see properties and they have like, they've been cutting the grass or they've done junk removal. And Josh, remember that one you saw the other day? What did it have? Like $50,000 in.
Yeah, that's right. That was in Florida. So it's a pretty wild story. One of our students had actually put the down payment on it, which was maybe like 5 or 10%. And going through the Florida statutes, all municipal liens, they will not get wiped, but so the excess proceeds will wipe them out, but there wasn't enough. And so the county had demolished the property. There was a whole bunch of grass liens, and they would have been on the hook for $50,000 in municipal liens, which is wild. And so I think maybe 15K of that would have get wiped out. And so the property would have been underwater. They just let it go. And that was a much better option. But yeah, that can really add up for sure.
Yeah, it's pretty wild. So keep an eye out for those. And for those of you guys just joining us, you can ask some questions. We'll be happy to answer questions. We're going to dive into some more of these properties so that you guys can have a chance at going and finding these properties. Now, the key thing to keep in mind, right, is we're saying under 4K for houses. And what's fun about this business is it doesn't matter where you're starting. Just in the other stream, you'll see the link to it. We showed you properties that were available for $2. People actually didn't believe it. And the funny thing that happened is so many people have watched that video. We actually got a call from the website. Corey, could you tell them what happened? This is why when we do these, you guys have to act fast. The properties that Josh is showing and that we're going to continue to look at here are properties that are coming up. Okay. The other ones you need to act fast because Corey, what happened as that video got all the views?
Yeah, real quick. Thumbs up if you like this video. I'm going to share you some hilarious stories here. There's also a like button too. You can hit that. Be great. Helps us out immensely. But I got a voicemail from this lovely gal at this, I forget the name of the company now, but she's like, this is, I won't say her name, but from this law firm. And yeah, we've been getting completely blown up with phone calls. Someone said that you post a video on the internet and we're wondering if you could just do something about that or take it down because we can't handle all these phone calls. I was like, oh crap. So then poop. Sorry. I don't know if we can say crap on air here. But I gave her a call and I was like, hey, this is Corey from Tax Lien School. I'm the guy that is responsible for all your phone calls. Anyway, we had a great conversation. They're very unused to that many phone calls at this time of year because the sale ended, I believe, in August. So she's like, normally we're not busy anymore. And so this is pretty crazy. So it was great. And I then put a note under the video. So
yeah, so super important. When you see this stuff, guys, you got to act on it. It's early bird gets the worm. And we really enjoy walking you through this step by step. And for anybody who wants to get started, we always give a totally free book called The ABCs of Tax Lien and Deed Investing. This thing walks you through from start to finish. So Josh is going through the due diligence here, but we have it in a checklist, in checklist format, so you can follow along with it as far as your max bids, your research. And then from there, if you ever want to go ahead and call, we have all of the phone numbers here, the tax lien directory, the tax deed directory, everything you need to get started. We used to sell this. Now we just give it away to give you guys tons of value. And obviously from there, we do some small group one-on-one coaching. If you've ever wanted help with this stuff, you can book a call. We'll work with you one-on-one and get you a great strategy in place. However, if you just watch these videos and you're a self-starter, you'll have plenty to go with, but that is below in the description. Once again, put some questions in. We'll get to those. Let's see. First question here. If we eat together, are we taste buds? That's a good one, Jimmy. So from here, once again, if you have a question, put it there. If you have a good joke, we're always happy to entertain a great joke as well. So Josh, let's go ahead. Let's continue the adventure here and see what's coming up. So these are properties coming up that you can take action on. Josh has had boots on the ground for at least 50 properties purchased at this sale. And we're also going to show you guys some of the things to watch out for as far as like, what do you call it? HOA sales and things like that. So yeah, let's keep on the adventure here as far as properties that are coming up at the sale that you guys can come and have a chance at picking up.
Great. All right. We got another one here, another house under 4K. So we'll go ahead and check out the screen. This is 7602 Springdale Street. Opening bid is 2.5K. So it's Harris County versus the owner. And if you want to look at the property information for free, we can go ahead. Let's take this account number. Here is the Harris County Tax Office. So I already pasted it in there. You can see the owner's name, property address, a little bit about values, and then what taxes are owing. You can see the collection penalty. It's a breakdown of everything. Pretty awesome. So what we're going to do is the same thing. We're going to take that owner's address, sorry, their name. So we got Joseph Dupelchin. And you remember, we also need the subdivision name. So it's Glen Manor, Section 2. Let's go ahead and see if there are any liens with Joseph. So here are the real property records. Already got his name in there. And so there are a lot of stuff. There's a lot of stuff here, right? And so there's two things that you can do really quickly. So just go ahead. Let's take the Glen Manor and let's scan real quick. So I'm looking right here where it says legal description. So all this other stuff I'm going to ignore. We're looking for Glen Manor. So you see we got Liberty Road. Don't worry about it. So we got a warranty deed, Glen Manor. So that's it being sold. Now that's kind of bizarre because he's on the name twice. You can see he sold it with Betty, but then it's really just to remove Betty. You can see there's 3 of them there, and then it ends up just being 1. So that's Glen Manor. Keep scrolling down. What else we got? Right, just the warranty deed, right? So he sold it. He was on it with someone else. Then he sold it so that he's only on it. And we've got a lot of other stuff here. We've got a whole bunch of liens. So again, liens are the ones that are really important. So if you come in here and you do a title search and you see a whole bunch of stuff, really what you want to pay attention to are the liens. Now, the interesting thing about Texas is that if you want to go ahead and open these up, you're going to have to do it at the courthouse office there, at the clerk's office, or you can go ahead and send them a message and ask if they can, you got the film code right here. So what you're going to need to do is just go ahead and open all of those up and see what's going on. And so there's different types of liens. You got a breakdown here. You got homeowners association, state tax, U.S. Department, yada, yada, yada. You got a lot of stuff going on here. It's really just the stuff with the county that is the most important. And that's the kind of stuff that's not going to get wiped. But again, the excess proceeds, you can try and use those to get those satisfied. But so if we were bidding on this property before we did that, so the auction's on Tuesday, Monday would be a great day to show up at the records office and go ahead and just look at those liens. It's the exact same system that you see here. It's just on their personal computer instead. There's like an office with maybe 16, 20 computers or so, desktop computers. You go in, and then instead of that link being, so it's not a hyperlink right now, it will be a hyperlink there at the office, and then you can click it and you can see it. So the numbers on this are looking sweet, right? 2.5K. House is worth, could be up to $170,000 is what PropStream is saying. But you got to make sure that you look at those liens beforehand. They could be nothing or it could be something. Also, liens have a 10-year lifespan, and so a lot of these could be cooked. So I mean, that's also a really quick way to just disregard. This is 2005, right? Would be 24 right now, right? So 10-year lifespan. So ignore, 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 ignore. Actually, you can ignore all these. So there you go. Statute of limitations gets these removed. So there, you don't even need to go into the office. Easy peasy.
Right on. No, definitely some good tips there. And our goal is to make this simple for you guys to get into it, to take action, which is why we do these live streams to help everybody get started. We've got some really good properties at these sales. Now, a couple things that come in. So Jimmy's saying, our taste bud, that, these auctions can be crazy busy. Yeah. So Harris County is an in-person auction, but remember, Texas has 254 counties. And a lot of the auctions now are online, which is awesome because we have people go to the Harris County sale, and from there they'll be on their phone and on their laptop attending, 2 or 3 other sales at the same time. So that way you can really, prioritize and execute the strategy that you want to go ahead and take. Now, Josh, for the folks here who are going to go to maybe one of these auctions in Harris, we can talk about Harris and maybe just some strategies on beating the competition. Now, Harris is busy, but it's broken up into 8 precincts. So if you're just going as a lone wolf, only focus on, what, Josh, 2 or 3 precincts?
Yeah, exactly. Because you're not going to be able to be in 8 places at once. You could probably juggle, a few, maybe 2 or 3. But really, the best thing that you can do is go in and see what the layout is, or you can give them a call. For instance, you might have precinct 3, 4, and 5 right next to each other, all within earshot. So that would be a really easy way that you could juggle 3. Now, they may have changed the layout. I think 1 used to be like really far off. And so it's like you don't have a chance of being in precinct 4 and in precinct 1 at the same time, but perhaps you could juggle 3 or 4 or 5, because there's a lot that are fairly close together, and then there's other parts of the center that you won't be able to access. So that'd be a great way. Is just you could call them and say, hey, what's the layout for the auction? Like where are the precincts located in the building, so that then you have the highest chance of getting the most properties. That's how I would do it.
Yeah, and from there, if you're going with somebody, you guys can each cover 2 and then prioritize the list. So what we'll do, Josh, can we take a minute here and just kind of show them, if they're going at this by themselves, maybe how to prioritize the route? And remember, what we're showing you here is for Harris, but this stuff applies kind of all over the place. And the nice thing is, if they're doing an online auction, you can do this stuff remotely from home. So it's very, very cool to be able to do it. So maybe we'll just take a minute and show you how to prioritize which route you want to go on as far as how that works. And once again, if you guys are just joining us here, ask us a question. We're going to get to all the questions coming up here in a second. Say hello. And then also, if you got a good joke, put it in there, as Jimmy had a good one here. If we eat together, we are taste buds. Yes, we are. So go ahead, put that in there if you're just tuning in. If you like this stuff, guys, do us a favor. Hit the thumbs up on the video. It helps get this video out to people who want to get into real estate. Maybe they want a career change. And this really offers a unique way to get into real estate. A lot of people think maybe because they don't have a lot of money or credit that, they're not able to get into this. And actually, Josh had a good comment the other day. We're going to do a little special coming up on how to get like a 0 interest credit card if you really don't have money to buy some of these properties. Because just the other day, we were showing you properties for as little as $2 that are available, which is super fun. And we're going to be getting into that. So make sure to subscribe, thumbs up if you like this stuff, and ask us a question. We'd love to hear from you. Comment below the video if you've been to an auction or where you want to go. And then from there, we're still live, so you can ask questions here. And if you're watching the replay, the best thing to do is to go back and watch from the beginning and follow along, or rewind. Okay. So this way you can really go, this is how I learn. Back in the day, I was watching VHS tapes when I took my first seminar and in my parents' cold basement doing this. And some people make the joke that I'm still in the basement, but I'm not. I can assure you that. So go back and watch this stuff a couple times, because it's very comprehensive as far as how to find these properties. And from there, for anybody tuning in, like I say, if we go to Texas, we have all the phone numbers for all the counties here, so you can just call them up. This is totally free in the description below. You can go there, and if you want some help, you can also book a call. So let's go back to Harris County, because it's a unique beast with 8 precincts going at the same time. We want to show you here how to organize, prioritize, and execute as far as, if you're going there by yourself, or how to approach it, because you don't want to look at a whole bunch of property and have the precincts be across the room, and you're just really trying to do 3 things at once and getting nothing done.
Yeah, good. So, if we go back to looking at the screen here, and let's say you call the county, right? And they say, okay, at precinct 2, 3, and 4, they're all really close together. It'd be no problem to juggle those 3 precincts. What you can come in and filter that. So you go like precinct 2, and you can grab all that data, precinct 3, precinct 4. And so what you can do is export that information. What we would do ourselves is we would pay for the information from foreclosehouston.com. And so what they do is they compile all of this data, they add extra data, and they put it in an Excel sheet for you. Because right now you'd have to come in, this is the free way. You come in and you can just look at this and you can juggle it, and you can export it if you want to take the time, or you could go ahead and get foreclosehouston.com. But I think it's like $39, $49, something like that. Or you can just come in and then filter, right? So you grab precinct 2, and then you could go ahead and look at the properties that you're interested in. And so let's say your budget is $10,000, right? So, the easy way is that you can just filter out all of this other stuff that has a higher value, right? So that you're just looking at the right properties, and you can go ahead, make your list, and then use a software like Route for Me. And so Route for Me, Corey, do you remember how much the plan is per month?
Should only be like $10. It's pretty cheap. There's also an option if you're a trucker for like $350. So if you go for that one, you're on the wrong page.
That's the way to go, though. I think bigger's better.
That's right.
And so, yeah, you could use Route for Me, or if it's going to be under 25, then MapQuest has a free version, but it limits you, right? And so if you want to go ahead and do more than that, you can come in and use Route for Me. That way you're going to optimize your time, because Harris County is huge. And so you don't want to be stuck, spending all of your time just driving. You want to have the optimized route. So go ahead and grab that. So we'd come back here to tax sale website. You're going to go ahead, grab 2, 3, 4, if those are the ones that you're interested in, get them in that Excel sheet, and then get them over to Route for Me so that you have an optimized route. Because we would drive all over this whole thing, right? And so we would spend 2 days driving, maybe 40, 50, 60, 70, 80 houses. And so Route for Me would make it so that we can go ahead and have the best route. Because if you don't have any map routing software, to get from here to there, in rush hour traffic, it's crazy. Otherwise, this is like, an hour and a half. And so it would be really silly, right, to like drive a property here and then come down to like Pasadena and then go up to Humble and then go over to Cypress. And so you want to use that map routing software so that you can plan and execute wisely and use the best use of your time, especially if you're going to go to the courthouse on Monday and research liens before the sale on Tuesday.
Nice. Yeah. Back in the day, I remember the first time I went to Houston was literally 20 years ago now, which is insane. And back then, there was none of this software. We'd have to we'd get the map like this, Josh, and then we'd get a giant map of Houston, and we'd have to go with a highlighter pen, and we'd have to literally highlight the streets as far as where they were. And then from there, we would have to draw a line on the map. Like, it was so tedious. I remember it would take us 3 hours just to plot the line on the giant map and then break it down. And then from there, it didn't take 2 days to go drive 50 properties. It took like 5 days to go drive that many properties, because you got your navigator and he's looking at the map, and then you come up to this like giant octopus road, the turnoff that's like taking you back home to, back to the north. And then you're like, oh, which one? And then you miss it. And then you got to turn around and you're off the map. And sometimes just missing one of those overpasses, sets you back an hour. So now the cool thing with this software is that you can literally bang out 50 properties a day. Now, they are long days and it is pretty intensive. However, it can definitely be worth it in the sense of, you look at how much below market value you have a chance of getting these properties. Now, one of the things that people always say is like, oh, I went to an auction and it was busy and things got bid up. Josh, maybe can you comment on one of the long streaks you went on, as far as like going to 5 or 6 auctions and then hitting like a jackpot on the 6th or 7th?
Yeah, that's right. It was a couple summers ago. There's a video of us in Michigan, and walked into a county auction in Michigan, and everything was just getting bid up so high, and there was nothing that I could possibly get there. And then from Michigan, did a couple places on the way to Ohio. So this was like a huge tour. Did a lot of northern Ohio. So started like in Cleveland, and then tried a couple small counties in between. And there just wasn't enough like properties to go to the auction. And so a lot of stuff that was left, maybe there's like 3 to 10 properties that were left, that was getting bid up like crazy. And so it was a ton of auctions, and then ended up in Cincinnati, Ohio. That was Hamilton County, and bought a property that day. And the next month we came back, bought another property. The next month came back and bought 2. So it took a little while to get into that flow and rhythm, and striking out a couple of different auctions, but then getting one, which was awesome.
Yeah. So the thing about this game is you're either consistent in it or you're non-existent, right? If you guys watch this video and you go to one auction and then you're sad because you didn't get anything, and then you come back and just hating in the comments, oh, it doesn't work, it got bid up. You need to put in the effort to actually be consistent with it. And what does the effort really look like is, once you understand it, a couple days a month, a couple days to watch the auction building up, a few hours here and there, do your research. And as you get more serious about it, you can get a virtual assistant to go through and really do 95% of the work. Josh, can you comment on how to utilize working with like a VA to really streamline this? Because it is a bit tedious, which is great because it's a gatekeeper to keep out the lazy people. Like this is a great business for you to get into real estate if you have a little bit of grit and a little bit of creativity. So Josh, how would you optimize the VAs?
Yeah, that's a great way to really expedite things and also take some work off of your plate. And so what we would do is, we would be driving around properties and we'd have a WhatsApp group. And in that WhatsApp group, that's where the VA would be. And so I'm like going to a property, I put the property address, I'm taking a whole bunch of photos, and then I'm just writing notes. So I'm taking notes, or you could do voice notes. You could just be recording your phone and talking about what you see, and then have the virtual assistant transcribe that. And so what she was doing, her name was Kathy, she would put all of this data into the max bid sheet. And the thing is that, when I'm doing this, there might be 50 properties there in that WhatsApp chat, in that WhatsApp group. And so I'm going to go ahead and then just have all of that data exported, and then she would do that for me. So that keeps things moving. That like keeps things moving quickly, as well as I could ask her questions about the property, and she can be commenting. And so that was just a really great way to keep things rolling, keep things moving fast. Let's see.
Nice. Sweet. Cool. Dustin lost his internet, but Josh, do you have to bounce? Yeah.
That is true.
Okay.
I do have a call.
Dustin, I can take.
That's very good.
Josh, thank you very much for that. The internet. It's nice to see work, teamwork, kept the stream alive. Teamwork keeps the stream alive.
That's right.
Oh, yeah. But yeah, I got to bounce for that call, so I'll let you guys take over and keep rolling with it.
All right.
Awesome. Thanks, Josh.
All right, peace.
Teamwork makes the stream work.
Ah, there you go. Nice.
We're not corny. There's no corniness here at all. So let's, Corey, let's go through some of these questions here. And if you guys are just joining, we've been walking through how to get some properties for under 4K. If you're here right now, ask some questions. We're going to dive in. Corey is the best dressed man in the tax lien and deed game, which is undeniable.
Oh, that's so nice.
These shirts are known around the land.
That's
so
right.
We're going to go through some of the questions here. But if you are just catching up, two things. One, do me a favor, hit the thumbs up if you like the video. It helps you see these videos when they come back out. And from there, subscribe so you can be in the loop on this stuff. We notice most people aren't subscribed to the channel who watch this stuff. And then later, they're walking through life and they're like, man, what was that stream with that cool shirt guy? And then they can't find it. And then everybody else buys their properties. And 20 years.
20 years later, I wish.
20 years later, it's a long, lonely road.
Yeah.
But go back to the beginning, watch this stuff, follow along step by step, and pause, right? Pause as you go. Treat it, we do obviously some super in-depth stuff sometimes on these trainings. And that's really how you learn it, right? By just watching it and not taking action. Like it might feel good in the moment, but you're really not moving forward. So that's why we recommend go back to the beginning, follow along, pause it, and do it as we go. Have two screens open and don't get distracted. Side by side. If you're watching this on your phone, a lot of the times this stuff works really good on the computer. So you can have it on your phone or your computer as well. But a lot of the heavy lifting will be done at the computer, but you can also do it on a phone these days as well. So Corey and I are going to go through some of your questions here right now. Oh, and by the way, once again, everybody, as you know, we went old school. We used to have DVDs. We've been in this game a long time. 100 Tax Lien and Deed Facts, Tax Lien and Deed Investing 101. We put all these on demand and we give them away now. It's similar to the YouTube stuff we do, but it's in the description below. When you get the book, you'll see some old school greatest hits, but all of this walks you through it. It is totally free in the description. And if you want to book a call with us, we do help you with a strategy if you're really wanting some one-on-one help. So on to some questions here. Let's see. What are some popular areas for tax liens? So the tax lien states, are you guys ready? Popular areas are definitely going to be places like Arizona. Florida has a lot of tax liens. Montana, Wyoming, Colorado, South Dakota, Nebraska, Louisiana, Mississippi, Alabama are going to be doing tax liens. So those are going to be very popular places, but definitely Arizona, Alabama are really great places. Corey, anything to add there as far as some other locations for liens?
I'm trying to think of all those are pretty much the big ones. Alabama is interesting because it's the tax liens, but you can get over-the-counter tax liens there at the land bank sales. And a lot of these places will have land bank sales, which is a hot tip. You can search those. We're not going to tell you any more about that right now. But
Super secret.
Super secret. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's lots of liens. And remember, half the states are lien states, half the states are deed states. In a deed state, the opening bid is the back taxes. You can own the property. Starting bid's the back taxes. So when we say, you know, get a house for 4K, maybe the opening bid's 1,000, 2,000. The thing is a lot of the times, sure, things might get bid up, but if you stick to this stuff long enough, you will get cheap houses at amazing prices. And everybody we know, including ourselves, have got houses and properties for under 4K just by sticking with it. Okay. So go get out there, do it. You can do this stuff online. You can go in person as well. Let's see here. Next question. Good one here. Is it more popular during the winter than other times of year? So I would say end of the year right now is probably one of the least popular times of year because it's Q4. We got Thanksgiving coming up. We got Christmas. There's an election that's going to be happening. So the sale that we researched today, I'm expecting it to be a really good one because it's on the same day as the election. So you're going to have a lot of people who, you know, a lot of people with money, they're going to be at home watching the election. So that is definitely a big one to keep in mind. All right. Yeah. So next question here is, how often do you have to clear title? So it depends. Yesterday, when we were showing you guys, or 2 days ago, where the $2 properties were literally $2. So if you guys are tuning in, there is a live stream that will be recommended here. And Corey, the people didn't believe it, but we showed them $2 properties.
I'm going to put the link below while you're talking here. To that
yes.
one.
Corey can post a link to that video that you guys can go to. So there they cleared the title when you bought the property. However, it depends where you are, right? Like if you are in Texas, for example, you want to get clear title if somebody wants to put financing on it, because a lot of the time you get what's called a quick claim deed when you buy the property, which means sometimes you need to clear the title. We have a video on the channel with Tax Title Services that it walks you guys through every single step of that. So that is great. Once again, folks, if you're just joining us here today, we did go ahead and show you properties that are available now coming up under 4K. Some of these things are worth, you know, $50, $60, $150,000, which is great. Let's see. We're looking for a quick flip. Stay away from tax liens and deeds with a 1-year redemption. Yes. So don't buy tax liens because your money is going to be tied up if you want to do quick flips. But remember, some of the biggest wins come from tax liens. And here's what we mean. 95% of tax lien certificates redeem. So what that means is 1 in 20 of your properties, you're going to end up owning the property for the price of the tax lien plus paying out the other tax lien. So here's an example. Let's say it's a $100,000 house. Okay. Let's say the property taxes are $2,000 per year. You buy the first year tax lien. That's $2,000. You're going to be making an interest rate of, 5 to 20, 30% on that. So now that property goes 3 years. It hasn't redeemed. You bought the lien first. So now you foreclose. First thing you do is you pay out the other 2 liens. So that's $6,000. Okay. Then you would get an attorney to foreclose on it. Probably another $2,000. So you just got a $100,000 house for $8,000, which is awesome. Free and clear, free of the mortgages. So that's really what's a lot of fun about this business is those big wins through tax liens. But you need to know that your money is going to be tied up for sometimes, up to 2 or 3 years. Except, Corey, where was it? Alabama right now has some leftover liens?
Yeah. A bit more complicated, but yeah, they do have over-the-counter liens there. And also Texas has surplus properties, which we didn't really get into on this, but
yeah, we'll have a video coming up. Texas, a lot of the times, mostly just rolls their properties that didn't sell into the next auction coming up. However, we did find there are places now that do have surplus. So these are like over-the-counters that you can go and get. Let's see here. Thanks for the learning. You're in Idaho. Got the sale coming up next week. That is awesome. Let's see. How do I get that free book? So there's a link below in the description. Actually, I'll just share my screen and show everybody here right now, super quick, where we go for that. And we come over here. Okay, share the screen. And if you click the link below, you're going to land on this page. Okay, so just simply click it enter your name, your email, your details there, and you're going to be in good shape. It will show up in your inbox and you will get access. And at the same time, if you guys ever want to book a call with us, we can help you save a few years of trial and error, can coach you, analyze your properties for you, and really give you an A+ experience. So there's a link there if you want some one-on-one help as well. So all of that is in the description below the video. Let me come back to where I was. Okay.
I'm back.
Come on back.
Nice.
We are back. Stream's starting to pick up, which is great. Let's see here. Do you JV on selling land? Well, it depends on the land. Okay. So we will JV on things that make sense as far as that goes. So the key thing to having things make sense is to be educated. Mm-hmm. And the first step to getting educated is to watch the channel, to learn, right? A lot of people think joint venturing with us is just sending us an address. What about this property? What about that one? That's not how we do it. We have a intense spreadsheet that goes through, we want to know what the comparables are, what the opening bids are, everything, what it takes to fix it up, right? So anybody that we ever JV with needs to know how to do it. So that's what this channel is here for, is to teach you guys exactly how to do it if you follow along. And that's why, obviously we have the book to walk you through it. Like, this thing is the fundamentals. This is your entry-level education to getting started in the business. Everything that you need to know is in here to get going. Okay. So go through the book, do it, get something good, send it over to us. Let's see. Wants to do first auction in Washington. Actually, we will be doing some in-field footage of some Washington auctions coming up because they are late November and into December. Corey, when did you did a Washington auction? What county? Do you remember which county you did?
Oh yeah. Oh, dude.
Remember you were with Barb?
Yeah. I think it may have been Sonoma County, but don't quote me on that. I remember I have all the photos. I took a lot of videos, but I think it was Sonoma. But yeah, I forget. Other than that,
you remember not everything.
I only remember the useless parts of it.
But coming up, go through it. So once again, guys, like, if you're wanting to go to Washington, just download this below, pull up Washington, get the details from the county. We've got all the phone numbers in there. That is below in the description. And once again, welcome anybody who is just joining us right now. If you're still here, do us a favor, hit the thumbs up if you like this stuff. Subscribe if you're not subscribed, so that way you can be in the loop on anything that comes out in the future, which we do these lives. There's not necessarily a specific time. It just all depends on Corey's schedule.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm all over the
that
place.
Was loaded. You can see the attitude and the resentment in that, as that is always me. As far Corey's the timekeeper of the business.
Yeah.
So anything that has to do with being organized, that's Corey.
True.
The reason that you're here today, seeing things in these pages, that's him. So we like to make fun that he's always late, because
also have a nice mustache.
That is quite the mustache.
Yeah, we didn't call it out yet. We got to call it out. I don't normally have a mustache, but
I think I can count on one hand the number of times Corey's been late. But just the fact that you can count them at all means that he's a greatly flawed man.
That's right. Yeah, it's just there should be zero. It should always be
Let's see. Crash Bandicoot. That was a classic.
That's my email, man.
Yeah, Corey. So do we do one-on-one? Yeah, we do one-on-one help. Like, if you want coaching and mentoring in this business, that's what we do. And really, that's why we give this stuff away. Is like, we used to sell this stuff. I think like 50,000 people have bought it, but now we give it away. And instead, we just work one-on-one mentoring with people who really want help, who really want to take action. Obviously, we give you everything you need if you want to take action, but having a mentor can help as well. So there's a link below if you want to do that. Let's see. Voted a few weeks ago. Nice. Let's see here. What is the average price for a lien that you've seen? I know that 4K one is rare. So what is a range of cash? So yeah, no, a 4K one is definitely not rare. It just depends where you are. We have liens that start at like $5 and up. So it just really depends on the area. And in fact, you can crunch the numbers quite easily. Like, on average, property taxes are going to be about 1% of the market value of a property. So if it's a $100,000 house, you can expect the yearly lien to be like $1,000 to $1,500, maybe $2,000 on the high side of things. Now that's definitely not set in stone. Ooh, look, question from me. Here's the link to the live we did where we just did that a couple days ago, showing you where the $2 properties are, but they're all scooped up. And that's the thing. If you guys are watching this stuff, take action, because people watch it and they scoop it up. So that is important to do. Let's see here. Could you explain how the auction works in person, and do you prefer online? So I prefer, I'll keep that up here. I prefer where has the best properties. Okay. So if it's a good online auction, that's what I prefer that day. If it's a good in person, that's the thing with this stuff, is it's always going to vary a little bit. Now, where we've had a lot of the biggest wins and cheapest properties is in the smaller counties. Like, for example, Helena, Arkansas. We bought several properties there, and we talk about the the fun hits, because everybody who sticks to this business gets like life-changing deals if they just stick with it. And one of our favorite ones that we bought was a funeral home and a limousine company. We bought it for like $6,700, and it paid us $1,000 a month from day one. It was worth $75,000. So like deals like that only happen in this business, and that was an in-person auction. However, there are plenty of situations where an online could be better or in person. It just kind of depends. It's like anything. It's like driving. You need to be a bit experienced to drive on some snow and to drive on the gravel, right? It's my analogy.
Great one.
Yeah, as always, I use that one a lot. So after winning a bid on a deed property, what are the next steps? So, Corey, the first step after winning the bid, lesson that we've learned sometimes, farmer.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, you always want to get property insurance. Property insurance. You want to start that process immediately, no matter where you are. Farmer Brown. Farmer Brown. They're the place we go.
Yeah. So as soon as you guys win that bid, get the insurance on the property. Give them a call. They do tax sale properties, which is great. Let's see here. Do we have a video on how to comp land and how to cap overbid? Now, I know Corey has an in-depth one that is actually in one of our other trainings, but Corey, are you able off the top of your head just to give a couple simple tips for?
Yeah, I think one of the biggest things is, in the easiest things to do, the quickest things, is you just use Zillow like you would normally to comp another property and just see what land has sold for in the area. So two strategies here. One, if it's in like a decent area where it's like there's life, there's properties, there's businesses, then you can just see what's sold in the area. Oftentimes, like if you go back to yesterday's live stream, shout out to go check out yesterday's live stream. We do this exactly. Josh checks out the comps on Zillow of property that's sold in the area, land. There was lots of sales in the area. Now, if there's no sales in the area, you kind of just have to find a real estate agent who's going to help you with that. They might be able to pull up back data or give you an idea of what's sold in the area. You might need to call 10, 20, 30 real estate agents if you're in a big city. There might only be one real estate agent if you're in a really small city, in which case it will be harder to get that comp. But either way, making friends with a real estate agent in the area can be a really good idea, because they can also provide you with cash buyers if you give them a bit of a referral fee or a flat fee or a percentage. It's just a good strategy to have, to be friendly with the real estate agents, even though you may or may not have had good or bad experiences with them in the past. There are good real estate agents out there, and that's where I'll end that statement.
Yeah, it's super interesting, right? Like the average income for a real estate agent, I think, is like $32,000. Like most of them don't make much money, and if you've ever had to deal with them, no offense if you're a good one out there and you work hard, but it blows me away that, like, say you go on Zillow and you want to like talk to a realtor and you're a buyer, and then it sends you to like some third party call center, and then like most of the time they don't even call you back, which is insane. They have a property listed and then they don't even call you back. Like it blows me away that I don't know where, somewhere along the lines, like Zillow is a great tool, but it's like they come up with all these clever things to get in the way of you actually just talking to the person, which is ridiculous. So, having a good real estate agent on your team is a huge, huge advantage. And to make that networking, depending on where you're going to go, right?
Yeah.
So depending on where you are, you can speak to some real estate agents in the area. The first step of a good agent is one that actually calls you back.
Yep.
which is very interesting. And then from there, the next thing about it is you also need to learn how to do comps yourself, because remember, you have to really be careful with real estate agents. Like, they're really good for MLS access, but most of the time what they do is they just want to put it on the MLS so that it's on Zillow and then never do anything about it. So like, we've even tried this before with properties that we know of, to try to call the agent and then they don't pick up, right? Yeah. So, unfortunately, the name of the game for a lot of real estate agents is like, they go in and they want the listing, right? So they'll tell the client that they can get them more than what it's actually worth. And then they get it under contract, and then they do nothing. It just sits on the MLS. They don't even pick up the phone. And sometimes people are in tough situations, and this kind of screws them over. So anyways, you have to really be careful when dealing with real estate agents. Okay. Let's see, coming back to it. Yeah. Comping land. Corey brought that up. Yes. The $2 auction was closed. So it is always very important when you guys watch this stuff to take action, because the properties that we show go quick and you will miss the boat on this, as many people have sadly complained, oh, it's all gone, because they watched this video, right? Now, luckily, there's 3,300 counties. There's lots of places for you guys to go and find them. So we do have the directory here. It is in the description below. You can call them up and start doing your research, because we expose places on this channel. But the key thing is we want to show you guys how to go and fish in 3,300 other counties. Now, the opportunities that we show here are obviously good, but a lot of people see them. So now it's your turn. Go back, watch it, follow along, and then do this stuff in your own county or wherever you want to go. Let's see here. Juan is saying, yes, we'll watch yesterday's video. So guys,
everyone should.
That is your homework, is to go back to the beginning of this, follow along with the video, look at this property for yourself, and take action. All right. Let's see. For California, after winning the auction, is it going to go through title company or real estate attorney is better? So we did a great interview on the channel with Tax Title Services. They are Tax Deeds in California. What was it called, Corey? A right to contest. You remember?
Yeah, it's not a redemption, but it is a contestion.
Yeah, they're contestion.
I don't think that's a word. We'll
so in California, if you buy a tax deed, the owner has 1 year to contest the sale. However, we have a good interview with Tax Title Services. They can get you a clear title within, I think 30 days or so. So you just go through them and you will be in good shape. What was a $2 auction? Ooh, coming late to the game. So Corey's a link to the video there in the description. Yeah. We were showing properties that sold literally for $2, which is crazy. These properties were sold for $2 and they were thousands of dollars. So you can see that if you go to the live stream or the YouTube page, you will see that there. So we'll do a couple more questions here and we'll land the plane. Let's see. I'm interested in Washington County, Tennessee. How do I look it up? Well, good question, Bobby. Go ahead. Below the video here is the Tax Lien Deed directory. So just come in here and go to Washington, get the phone number and call them. We put all this together. It's all 3,300 counties. It is here. It's nice. You can print them out, have them at home. We use this stuff, all the time. There's a lot of work to put this together. And that is down below in the description for anybody to go and grab it. And then at the same time, you get the book bundle, which is great to get you going, get you off to the races. And we took these vintage DVDs and put them on demand as well. It's some of the greatest hits libraries that is there. We have get a deal in 30 days or less, because we used to sell this stuff like on the, like TV, get the DVD, right? But now we just give it away. It's similar to the YouTube stuff, but it's a lot of fun. So on that note, guys, awesome live stream, awesome questions coming in. If you're still here, hit the thumbs up, subscribe, ask us a question in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. And yeah, go check out some of the other videos. So your homework right now, follow along with this video. Step 1, go back, watch it, follow along, look at some of these properties, do the research yourself. And then from there, watch the $2 video and just take action. Just takes a little bit of time every day. and this business can help you replace your income and get into real estate in an unconventional way. So, Corey, thank you for bringing the shirt game to a new level. It's untouchable, actually.
Oh, shucks.
Much
Hey, it's
appreciated.
more.
And yeah, we'll have Josh on here again. We'll do some title stuff. And on that note, we will sign off and see you soon.
All right.
Ciao.
See you, everybody. Peace.